President Donald Trump is attacking Black history as CNN goes into a debate with them trying to erase slavery, that they want people to believe that slavery don't exist. But I want to talk about that we seeing a high rate and why Black unemployment just rose to its highest level since January 2022. Now, according to reports, we have Washington CNN unemployment amongst Black Americans last month reached its highest level in more than 3 years, in sharp contrast to the border labor market silent. The jobless rate for Black Americans climbed it to 6.8% in June. The Labor Department says Thursday, up sharply from May 6th, 6%, and the highest level since 2022. Meanwhile, the national unemployment rate ticked it down to 4.1%, and employers add a strong than expected 144,000 jobs in June. So they had between 144,000 to 144,700 jobs in June, according to Thursday job reports. Joblessness also declined for white, Hispanics, and Asians. President Donald Trump trades wars which paralyzed business decision makings and sparked fear of higher prices was one factor in the rise in Black unemployment. For months, businesses have said the Trump administration's significant policy changes from on again, off again tariffs to cut in federal funding and made it difficult to plan ahead. Black Americans are usually impacted first whenever the economy begins to weaken. The Economist says Black Americans lag behind their white counterparts in income, wealth, financial savings, and homes ownerships, according to previous CNN reporting. Additionally, the Trump administration had placed diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in its crosshairs. When the economy slows down, Black workers may be impacted more quickly and more severely, says Daniel, senior economist at Glassdoor. But it's consistent with the border story for all workers and unemployment trending upwards over 2 years. We just seen more of that for Black workers. and why the border labor market seems, according to CNN, it seems to have mostly been due to a few industries, healthcare, local governments, and hostility. Now, according to CNN, in June, the private education and health services industry was up a remarkable 411,000 net jobs compared to 6 months ago, according to Labor Department data. All others industries except governments and hostility add fewer than 5,100,000 jobs, each during that same period. Now, why do black people struggle here in America on unemployment rate? Do you know why we struggle when it comes to unemployment rate? And why it's affecting us more? It's because they don't really want to give us that. They want to make us to be a hard working people. And that's all they've been. You know what I mean? For us to be a hard, you know what I mean, working people. See, black Americans tends to work in transportations, warehousing, and utilities, which are in industry where we seem hiring pulling back, especially in the last few months. Now, according to CNN, it says senior economists at unemployment site Indeed's business are trying to figure out what they are going to commit to do as far as pricing, spending, hiring, while trying to navigate these tariffs and uncertainty. See, black Americans may also be feeling the hurt of Trump administration and aggressive downsizing of the federal governments, which shed 7,000 jobs last month. The federal employment is down 69,000 from January, according to the Labor Department. Jobs lost and federal governments have continued, which could be explaining part of what's going on, especially as the administration target diversity, equity, and inclusion program, said Jessica, a senior fellow at the Joint Center for Political Economic Studies, a nonprofit that studies the challenge facing black Americans. The black Americans are more likely to work in federal governments in particular. Now, according to CNN, all says it's too soon to make any decisive conclusions about the economic states of black Americans based on the last employment feature. The household surveys the Labor Department used to calculate monthly unemployment future draws from relatively small sample size for different racial and ethnic groups, making the number more prone to shrink from months to months. Despite the labor market resilience, the economy has shown some signs of weakness in other areas. In addition to the limited job growth in most industries, customer spending flew after terrorist-induced spending sprees in the spring. See, up next is why rising black unemployment is a warning sign for America economy. See, they don't want us to have nothing. This is why they don't want us to let us go. They didn't hold on long enough to us, but they don't want us to have anything. See, this is why I said they was going to move out immigration and use us for hard labor purpose. That's all the white men here to is to use us for hard labor purpose. As you see that when we see the jobless, when we start seeing massive layoffs, and the first thing they're going to do is going to be directly aimed at Black Americans when it comes to the unemployment, you know what I mean, rate. So it says, according to reports, it says in August, which we see as Black Business Month, should have been a time to celebrate the Black labor's force. But last month, job reports shown unemployment rates increased for Black workers. And it could point to an economic slump. The unemployment rate for Black workers reached 7.5 in August, at highest level since October 2021. 7.6% follow consecutive increase in June, 6.8%. In July, 7.2, a rise in Blacks. Unemployment is often considered for telling a slowdown for the border job market. The most, it says here the most we see the vulnerable people tends to get laid off first, unfortunately. See, Black people gets laid off, man. When we try to work, especially when you get into these temp agency companies, 'cause I know I've been working for temp mostly all my life. They quick to get you, you know what I mean, laid off. And that's why Black people are always forced to apply for unemployment, because you know it ain't that we don't want to keep a job, and then they quick to let us go. I know some of you might hear this saying that your assignment in. They don't want to work us. So now you see how you see a high increasement in unemployment for Black people. And now you're seeing these massive layoffs we have in the United States. Now you're seeing what Trump was doing was getting rid of all immigration, because immigration, they make up the population, and we had a lot of high paying jobs at one point. Now do you guys see the big picture here? That there's a high increasement in unemployment on Black people. Now let's go. Because it says Black Americans make up about 13% of the U.S. workforce. A drop in Black Americans in a workforce can have a crippling effect on Black countries and on the U.S. economy. Some economists says always is slowing down. So in other words, it says it's already happening. It's already slowing down. See, instead of keeping immigration, right? But they want to move immigration. Now they want to make it an issue on Black Americans. I told you guys how they were going to resegregate this, how they were going to resegregate Black American people. I told y'all this, man. Now they want to make this thing an issue on Black American people now. So it says Black Americans are expecting to have buying power of $2 trillion by 2026, up to 1.7 trillion in 2024, according to reports. When unemployment rise in our community, it has ripping effects across entire industries, not just retail, housing, healthcare. The impacts are across the board, says Cole, founder of Joe and Manro, on Black-owned candle business in Houston. Cole says that a higher rate of Black unemployment will be devastating, and it is twice as impactful on small Black owners, business like her own, because Black customers may dial back on this questionary spending. Black America are slower to recover from job loss, which means it can be a long road to recover. During the pandemic, President Trump touted a job recovery in May 2020, but while white unemployment had fallen from 14.2% to 12.4%, Black unemployment held steady at 16.8% according to labor status. It says the rise in unemployment for Black Americans contrasts Trump's claim that Black workers will fare better under his leadership than under Democrats in 2016. He famously asked Black voters, "What the hell do you have to lose?" If white American gets a cold, Black America ready gets the flu. The job slowdown is due in part to Trump's economic policies, which includes cuts to federal workforce, of which Black workers make up about 18.7, sweeping tariffs and diversities, equity, and inclusion crackdowns. Unemployment for Black Americans have led some Black owners, small business owners, to worry about an end of year sale slump. Now let's go. I told you guys that they was going to aim at Black America, that they were going to resegregate us. In order for them to save capitalism, they're going to bring some jobs back, but don't expect for high pay, because they're not going to bring in these high paying jobs for you. Most of you think that, oh, they're going to bring jobs back. Now they doing this to resegregate Black American people, man. They doing this because when Black people feel the domino effect, the first thing what's going to happen, Black people, they're not going to recover. They're not going to recover fast as you see whites or any other nationality. They're not going to recover fast. And this going to, you know what I mean? This going to bring a ripple to the economy. This peak to play, y'all. Let's go.
Being pushed by by the President of the United States. Donald Trump says that one of the reasons for his crackdown on Smithsonian museums is, quote, everything discussed is how bad slavery was. What we try to do on this program is create a platform for discussion and debate that reflects the very real differences that exist in this country. It's what echo chambers in our society fail to do, frankly. But on this topic, it's important to say objectively, slavery was indeed bad. It was evil, the nation's original sin. And it is impossible to understand the true history of this country without fully grappling with slavery's impact. Simply because of their birthplace and the color of their skin, the bodies and spirits of black men, women, and children were exploited for profit and power. They were forced onto ships, bound by shackles and collars that ripped off their skin. One older man described it as iron entering our souls. Some chose to jump into the waters infested with sharks rather than feel that iron. Now, once they arrived on this very soil, they were forced to work by...
Let me tell y'all, America is in a serious job slump, y'all. Now, it says unemployment gain was so weak in July, jobs report that President Donald Trump fired the head and charged with collecting the data, basically claimed it was rigged now. It says, but fresh figure out Wednesday shows that those jobs total weren't shown. So it says, for the first time in more than 4 years, there are fewer open jobs than there are job seekers. This is turning point for the labor market. Heather Lone Chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union wrote Wednesday, it's yet another crack. So it says, the number of jobs open was an estimate of 7.8 million at the end of July, falling down a downwardly revised 7.36 million the month before, according to reports of labor status data released Wednesday. Job openings are now not only at their lowest level in 10 months, but they are also below the number of unemployed workers at 7.2 million for the first time since April 2021. The economist was expecting that openings would stretch slightly from June and land at 7.37 million for July, according to the fact set census estimate. The labor's turnover activity reported shows from a different survey than the monthly job report. So the future aren't meant to match up exactly. However, it can still provide a good sense of underlying trends, like most economic. According to reports, it meant to be reviewed and analyzed it in concert with other data. Now let's go.
By way of the whip, despite being starved, sleep deprived, threatened, tortured, physically and psychologically, they were auctioned off, humiliated, fearful, and separated from their families and their children. Black women and girls were raped and sexually assaulted. Many were brutally murdered and mutilated. Now, this endured for decades, centuries, and even in the places where slavery was not legal, institutions from...
Not only they try to make it difficult for black people on unemployment rate, but they're trying to write out slavery, which means they trying to rewrite slavery, which means that they trying to erase slavery, that it no longer exists, and that the founder fathers of this nation were slaveholders. See, when they raped our black women and gave them babies, now that they own children, this was wicked. They're really trying to do a fabulous job to erase black slavery here in America. See, this is the problem we have. See, in the CNN debate, because President Trump is trying to rewrite black history and trying to put an end of slavery. As long as they say it's no longer apply with our Constitution laws. It no longer exists. So the killing we see with police brutality on black, American people, they want to say it don't exist. And see, this is why they think that God's hands is all tied up, man. They think that his hands is tied up today. But I'm here to say their hands are all tied up with being the murderers. Their hands is filled with blood. I've been saying to you, America will have to clean up her house if she's gonna do anything. If she's gonna make a square deal to do anything to turn this back. She'll have to clean her house.
From our banks to universities were built on enslaved labor in both the North and in the South. And for many of the white Americans who did not personally own slaves, they benefited from a caste system that concentrated wealth and political power in their hands. So, when we acknowledge the existence of black people who operated George Washington's Mount Vernon or the black hands that built the White House, we are acknowledging the existence, the perseverance, and the contributions of the souls that white supremacy sought to erase. Those people built families, they developed a culture, they were the keepers of the faith, cultivators of community, and they are the ones who deserve.
I want to say this, black people, we are the co-founders. Our fathers are the co-founders of the United States of America. We built this, we built this country from the ground up. We made this suitable for them. We made this a way for them to live here. But after centuries, we have got nothing but kicked, beaten, shooting down in the highways, in the streets. Bodies been poured out in the woods and fields. We fought American wars. We saved their independence. We fought and went into Germany and defeated Germany. All by their leave. We went into Pearl Harbor. Those black people died in Pearl Harbor. Those was black people bloodshed. And yet, we been the laughing stock. And yet, we've been kicked around, laughed at, humiliated. And yet, we haven't gotten nothing. Let's go.
credit for forcing America to rid itself of the stain of slavery. Now, all of this information, these stories...
You know, the white man has ridiculed our people for so long that you think today that you can make ends, you can make peace with them, you can be amongst them, you can be amongst these people. And I'm saying, really, because they don't have no interest of you. When they can find you useful, when you can be useful to them, and that's when they want to use you. You've been nothing but his tool, his object to his concern. See, when you're useful, that's when they can use you. See, when you become as a talent, a gift, as a black man, that's when they want to use you. But now all of a sudden, they have no useful for you. Just look what's going on in our entertainment world. They use us, as a stepping stool. That's how white folks use us. And see, we are not the white man's kin. He's not our brother. He's not a friend to us. He's not an advisor to us. They're not a friend to us. So we got to treat them as an enemy because they're not a friend nor an advisor to you. Now let's go.
Are from the Smithsonian's African American History Museum. And I share this not as a lecture for you, but as a lesson. America, the superpower, is largely possible only because of the superpowers of people who went lifetimes without the same rights of generations who were boosted from their backs. True history should include everything. Yes, the evils and the horrors too. And museums are supposed to be places that protect those stories, the images, the lessons, the very things that inform so much of our current state of our republic, from racism to poverty. No matter...
Look, America, she's like a hole. She's a hole for every prostitute soliciting. She's a mother of prostitutes, man. Why you think the black woman going insane? Why you think the black woman mind is insane, man? Because America been a place where evil is accepted. Evil is accepted. Let's look at the prostitute. See, if you understand the Islamic culture, the transition of Islamic culture, then you will understand, woman, that you will be clothed in a decent skirt, not in the pilgrim house of the prostitute. But if you knew your real mother from beyond the Jordan of Jerusalem, see, you will be clothed in a decent dress. See, not in this pilgrim house of this prostitute, you see. She was the goddess queen. She was the seducer. So this is why America is so quick to offer you beer, whiskey, and wine. This is why people, when you get these holidays, they get you to spend your money. This is why people be in these holidays, man. This is why I'm not a holiday person. They get you in these holidays to spend your money. Do you know every holiday they got is paganism? Every holiday you celebrate is paganism. That's why I don't follow holidays. They want you to spend. You wonder why people buying up things. Because they got a lot of catching up to do. You wonder why people buying this alcohol, this liquor. You wonder why people's health is the way it is. Because they're not even concerned. People are not concerned their health. The people today you see, they don't care about their health. Our people are dying, man. Minute by the minute. Hour by the hour. Day by the day, man. You see people dying, man. And having that been no solution. Yeah. Your mama's talking a load of bullshit. Like I said, you could take your bitch, white, hunky ass, your bastard, to some other life. Because this life may not be for you. You see, people have so much to say, but they so worried about you, right? But they're not concerned about themselves. But they so concerned about you because they know that people time is here. They know their time is here. White folks ought to be careful how they approach you, man. Because they've been killing our people all up to this time. They should be careful how to approach you online, talk to you face to face. Because if we was to do the same things as they've been doing us, treating us, because they know, man, they know if right in the South, if the black man was to go to their market, yeah, I'm saying the white market. I'm going there. I'm saying the white market. And we was to go into their stores and purchase a gun and shoot one of them, they'll know that thing hurts, man. That thing hurts, kills. So they ought to be careful how you know what I mean, how the way they should approach you. You ought to be careful to go on someone's live and say anything to somebody like I'm this irrelevant person. Man, look, man, if you don't like what's said or what been presented, you can stroll, take your monkey ass somewhere else. Because this life may not be for you. And this life ain't for you. So I give a damn, buddy, how you feel. You should see and look yourself in the mirror. See your own plaque before you see my speck. Look at your own. See your own sawdust and see how you keeping it. Because if you're not keeping it right, brother, you should be disappointed on your people because they have not been keeping it right. Instead of quick to come on my live and point out something, you should be quiet. You should shut up and be quiet. You shouldn't have nothing to say, but be quiet. You know, you should tell your mama that she, you know what I mean, she done had you upside down while you was a baby because you fell on your head so many times. You should be quiet and see how you keeping it. And see how your people's keeping it. You should be quiet. You should shut the hell up and be quiet. Because if you're not a subscriber, you should shut the hell up. You get these robots, these bots, right? They'll stroll in anybody's life. And they see a title that they may be in disagreement with, man. You should be quiet. You should have very little say and shut up and be quiet. Because you are just a distraction. I don't know where my moderator's at, but you make yourself, you make me sick, and you should make your mama sick, cause your mama had you, you know what I mean, upside down in the room. You even fell on your head. You fell on your big ass head of yours so many times. You should shut up and be quiet, man. For real, for real. But people like you only have a little bit on this time in this life, man. Your life is very short, brother. You should shut up and be quiet, man. For real. For real. Because you don't know me. You should shut the hell up. But people like you don't make it, man.
How painful, or in the president's words, how horrible the lesson. Now, just listen to one formerly enslaved man describe what slavery is like in his own words.
You know what I'd rather do? If I thought that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right away. Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog.
You see what I've been saying? We nothing but a fucking dog. That's how white America treat us, man. We nothing but a dog, a rag dog. They put us on a leash. They carry us around. That's all we've been, a rag dog. That's how they've been treating us, man. That's how they be treated. Now since the time is here, man, we don't want y'all coming to us and asking us for a motherfucking thing, man. We don't want y'all. We don't feel sorry for you. Don't come. We ain't coming shaking your hands, man. The God of justice is here. And I can bear witness that you will see every pledge that these people will see coming through their cities and coming on her borders. They will see every pledge, family. They'll feel every chastisement. I don't feel sorry for these people, man. Don't pray for them. Don't feel sorry for them. They need to feel sorry for themselves. Because they treat us so bad. They treat us this. See, I'm going to say it like this. White Germany and England are the most wicked white people. Let's look, man. Let's look at the Babylon enslavement, man. Fits the description of Germany and England enslavement of black people. They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed. They should have so little to say. They should be ashamed right now. See, this judgment don't have nothing to do with us. This judgment got more to do with their people, man, than us. They need to wake up, man. They really need to wake up. And smell all the dirt that they did, man. You should be ashamed. If you're a white person, you should be ashamed of what your people did. You should be ashamed. You should have so little say, and you should be ashamed in this time. In this modern time, you should be a damn shame of yourself, man. You should be quiet. You should be really quiet of what's finna happen. You should have so little to say and be quiet.
We are here in the studio with our panel, Leah Wright-Berger. I was actually surprised to see President Trump basically saying the quiet part out loud, that this review of the Smithsonian is not about even just something vague about reviewing history to make sure that it's fair. He wants to make it so that it talks less about slavery. What does that say to you?
You know, they want to rewrite, you know what I mean, slavery so they can feel less of this slavery. Why he want to rewrite slavery? Because they want to feel less that slavery has never happened here in the United States. But when this going gets tough, when the Most High God ain't playing with these people, yeah, I don't want y'all crying. I don't want y'all itching your booty holes and be like, oh man, we sorry, man, we sorry. See, how much have my people forgave you, and y'all still go back doing the same thing. Y'all keep taking the Most High God for granted, man. Y'all take God for granted like he's not seeing anything, man. Y'all take the God we serve, the God of the universe we serve, we praise to. Y'all take him very light. And this been happening from modern times, man. And you know what white folks say, you know what white folk would say? They'll be quick to say, well, God, you know, he's a merciful God. He's all loving. He wants you to forgive. He wants you to love. That's the first thing they would say, man. That they don't have no acknowledgement of what they did to us, right? But that's the first thing they will say, man. They'll play that kind of game, man. That's a dangerous game to play with someone, to say to someone. When God is here to kill, steal, and destroy. When Satan been here to steal, kill, and destroy, and take away your future, and make you less than a man. That's the worst thing people can say when they can put God to the test and say that today he's loving, he's merciful, but y'all done broke every principle of the book, man. Y'all done wrote in the Constitution. Y'all done changed the laws. Y'all done put all these things in here, man. And y'all thought that y'all gonna have a way of life, that y'all gonna put yourself in the book of life. It's proven that y'all been thieves. It's proven that y'all took this land, invaded land, and y'all still doing it. Y'all still doing it. Y'all still feel that y'all in control and y'all can put this right in our face, like the God of justice that we serve, that he's not going to come in a mix of time, and that the meek shall inherit the earth, and that he's going to give this back to us. Y'all out, man. Y'all rabbit minds, man. Y'all out of y'all rabbit minds, man. Thinking that the God of the universe we serve, we praise to, that he's not going to come. Yeah, y'all is out of your rabbit minds, man.
Well, I think it's an effort. It's part of a larger effort to both stainwash and whitewash American history, and essentially erase all of the parts and disappear all of the parts that make Americans, that make President Trump uncomfortable, that feel distasteful, that are a reflection of the actual real and horrific parts of our history. And I find it a little ironic. You know, earlier today, as I was listening to some of the commentary, my first thought was, wait a second, I wonder if the president...
Look, man, they want to plot out our history, man. You know, bad things is coming here to America, and you know what? I'm praying that it does. Every second away, I'm praying that it does. I'm praying that it does. This is the end of a white race of people. This is the end of their time. This is the end of their, are you hearing me? This is the end of their time. White folks are furious. They are angry because, you know, they hate when someone can prophesize like this. And I've been saying many scientists already think it's too late for this demand, because the anger of God, the furious anger of the Lord, is against white America and all of her evil doing she done to a people that serve her over 400 years. And now she thinks that she can continue to be evil. Your time has come. Your time has come. This is shit. You think I'm playing with you? You think I'm laughing? You think this is a laughing matter? Your damn time has come. You know, white people feeling so furious, man, of these floodings that's happening in the United States. They lose their homes. Homes is being swept from their foundation, man. These people don't have a pot to piss in nor a window to throw out of, man. And people think that this is a laughing matter, man. People will say you lost. Yeah, your mama's lost. Because your mama, see, your mama, you know what I mean, had you, man. She was doing all kinds of things. She was drugging. She was smoking. You was a baby upside down. You was a baby that had a big ass head. He was upside down, you know what I mean, Down syndrome kid, man. Mama didn't even know that she had a Down syndrome kid, man. He fell on his head 3 or 4 times. Mama went to go get a final checkup. Found out that she had a twin baby. Found out that one head was bigger than the other, man.
Has actually ever visited any of the Smithsonian museums. And then I remembered that in 2017 he actually took a tour of the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Let me just play actually what he said during that tour. Listen to this.
I had the privilege of visiting the National Museum of African American History and Culture right here.
You see, he visited the museum. And see, the simple fact is, they know the history of Black Americans. They know from the slavery times, the lynching times. They know. But you think that he's trying to do something on Black slavery? No, he's not. No, he's not. See, we live in a divided nation, man. They have no desire, they have no love, they have no sympathy, they have no remorse. They have no interest. You gotta understand, we are no use. We are no use to them. But just think about how useful we was. Let's think about how they used and tried our forefathers and went into Africa, went into, you know what I mean, uncivilized place and uncivilized Africa, and used our people as slaves, man. Our people came here to build this country. These people came from Europe, man. These people were birthed out of Europe, where on the east side of Asia, there was on the cage. Someone was on the cage side. Someone was described well as being the caveman. These people was monkeys, but they want to make it seem like we was apes. And nah, they was monkeys, man. They probably used to have long, straggly hair. They used to have the ducktails in the back. They was really described as being the caveman, man. These people came out of Europe. There was the hunters. See, Europe was bound as a wrecking place, man. Do you know Moses brought them from out of their savage cage life and put them on the road of conquest? Yeah, Moses brought them from out of their savage cage life, man. See, I can walk with you all day long about this white man. See, Esau he hated. Jacob he loved. Let's go.
In Washington, D.C. It's a new, beautiful Smithsonian museum that served.
Oh, I'm gonna have to tell your mama take your ass back to Europe. See, they mad, man. Yeah, man, you can be mad at me all you want. Tell your people go back to Europe. See, America will have to pack up because they don't have no future here. We don't have to go no. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't did nothing to you, but made peace. Their own people is bad, man. God's gonna make sure we get the last laugh, man. Their own people is mad, man. I don't feel sorry for you at all. I don't feel sorry for you at all because your mama should have your mama should have had you in her room for a little bit longer. She should have blowed you up with an air mattress. You know what I mean? Blow your fat ass head of yours, and you should have came out as a Down syndrome child. Yeah, you a Down syndrome baby, man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man. You're a Down syndrome child, man. Cause you should be respectful. Your grandma should already told you. If you ain't got nothing good to say, you shouldn't even say it, man. You should have so little to say, man. You're a little Down syndrome child, man. Need help, man. There's a lot of these Down syndrome childs, man. Man came from the room last minute, man. Mama went for that last checkup, man. The doctor said, man, look, man, you know you having something down here. Come on, man. You're a Down syndrome child, man. I feel sorry for you, man. I feel sorry for you because you know your people times here is up, man. You should just be, you know what I mean? You should be quiet. You should be really quiet, man. Look, you can't tell me that black. Okay, if we unlive people, it's because we didn't know no other ways but this right race of people. We had never been introduced by anybody but a right race of people. You became see white folks become a beast, right? So what white people do, they come here to make themselves suitable here in the United States, and then what they do is bring the drugs here, bring all the guns here, put it into the communities, because they know that black people are going to be a menace to whom? A menace to their society. So you see black on black killings. See, they put out these images, man. See, they fascinate the nigga with filth and evil, man. You know why you think we got a lot of black celebrities, right? Because Hollywood need black folks. See, Hollywood need a black population to make up their population. See, white people need them more than we need them, man. Cause we don't need them for nothing, but they need us. And you see how half of them turn our people out partially nude. See, nudity is originated from the right race, but they want to tell the world that we the guide. The guide to what? Because you lead our people into evil and filth. You see, evil and filth are the orders in the day in America. They've been turning our people out into this homosexual activities and stuff. They've been turning our people out. But I'm here to say enough and enough of this shit. Because they've been trying to turn us out into being sissy pies, white man bootlicker, Uncle Toms, and all this crap. Now, please, YouTube, don't flag me because I'm dealing with a stubborn people. I'm dealing with a hard, stubborn people. Let's ask Isaiah, the prophet. He said all day long I had stuck out, reach out my hand to rebellious people, man. Because through seeing they will never see, through hearing they will never hear, man. And see, that's the type of people we deal with today, man. A stubborn, disobedient people, man. You are a stubborn people, man. You ought to be quiet, man. You ought to listen to what your grandma been saying. If you don't have nothing good to say, you ought to be quiet. Because it's your people that brought this judgment. It's your people that why God is angry. You should hold your nose for 3 seconds and be quiet. Don't say nothing, man. Don't say nothing to jeopardize your people into more trouble, man. You should just shut up. Please. You should just shut your damn mouth. That's why I be thinking that, man, your mama should never have birthed you, man. Your mama should have never brought you here in the world. You should shut up, man.
As a shining example of African Americans' incredible contributions to our culture, our society, and our history. It also tells of the great struggle for freedom and equality that prevailed against the sins of slavery and the injustice of discrimination.
And see, he knows all this. He knows all this discrimination, this injustice, right? Police brutality. He knows all this, but are he gonna comply? Is he gonna comply? He knows this. See, I've been saying, man, America will have to do this one basic principle. See, this is why I tell you, it's not in their nature to do anything for the black people who have risked their life, who are the target here in America. That's why I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for white America, because white America is wicked beyond your and my imagination. She's wicked. And she don't have the heart. She don't have the desire. They don't have no interest in you. And see, since they don't have no interest of you, see you're not productive. And see, how can you be a productive member to your society when he don't have no use of you? Because you are no use. How can you be a productive member to your society when they have no interest of you?
The work and love of the people who helped create such a masterpiece is a testament to the legacy of so many leaders.
Look, I'm gonna say it like this: Trump, he's gonna face the rapture, or he's gonna or he's gonna die. See, God put a burning heap He put a burning heat coal on his head. See, it's either Trump, he's going to get sick, and he's going to die like the people say. See, in order for a new world to come in, this old world got to die out. See, Trump he's going to either face the rapture, or he's going to, you know what I mean, being to a point where he's bedridden. I hate to tell you, but there's a lot of people saying it, man. There's a lot of people say that he would faint, man. He would rot to some point. You know. And Trump at some point he's gonna rot, he's gonna deteriorate, he's gonna decline at some point. And see, if you're not living right, God will move you. If you're not living right, if you're not in the interest of the people, God will move you. And that's what he's doing. He's going to move you off from this earth. Trump only have a short time, man. He'd be very lucky. And see, it'd be a worse thing that anybody do to kill a president, because he have work to do. Does he? He's doing it. Is it this the man that caused havoc? Is it this the man that we seen 2016? See, a beast, you know, when a beast eats on his plate, he eats some and more. He seeks his prey. See, that's their nature, man. See, when he went into Iran talking about taking the oil, see that's a talk of a thug. See, that's thug talk. When he thought that he can go to the Middle East to shake things up, when he thought that he can go into Gaza and Israel and get in between, America is losing her power in the Middle East. She can no longer exercise that Middle East, man. When she trying to go into Gaza and make Gaza a bulwark city, make Gaza defenseless. When Trump thought he actually can set his mobilization into Gaza, they wasn't having it. You see, they put out this, they put this propaganda, they put this croissant, man. They put up a show, man. So my question is, what do you think is going to happen? America is facing a turmoil, man. Trump is facing a like I said, man, he's facing a hard rock and a hard place right now, man. But it's you feeling sorry. It's you feeling sorry. I don't feel sorry. Because at the end of the day, all I'm going to say, I told y'all, man. See, Trump is he's the last call. They have a book of Trump being the last president because the trumpet call. You seen the trumpet call? You seen the seventh trumpet, man. The seventh trumpet in Revelation 16, man. verse 17. The seventh angel sounded his trumpet. And the seventh trumpet, there was a great earthquake. And the earth split into 3 different fragments. That's happening right now. But y'all want to say I'm a liar, man. Y'all want to say I'm a liar, man. But that's happening right now. You see in Africa being split. Nevada, then there's another state that's split. It's going to be split into 3 different parts, man. We about to be separate. We finna be on. We finna be coming home, man. How long do you think we got, man? This is a whole buildup, man. Y'all don't see the buildup, man. Y'all don't see the buildup here. Earthquakes is coming, man. You've been warned by so many people that these earthquakes is y'all actually feeling the ground shaking, man. In some place where you are, you feeling the ground shaking, man. Earthquakes is on its way here, man. So how long do you think we have? Because many scientists already says that it's too late for this demand because the anger of God. The anger of God. America's in trouble. America is the public enemy number 1 on God's radar. She's public enemy number 1. Don't feel sorry. Feel happy. An end is coming to this world. An end is coming to this world.
It honors.
So was it that he didn't believe what he read from the teleprompter as he recorded that video, or what?
You know, I'm really struggling to understand in a lot of ways, particularly.
Look, y'all keep throwing out these high numbers, 20, 32. See, white people have no knowledge. White people, they have no knowledge but conjectures. They think, see, they can put out this time 5,000 years, but if you are a believer, we see it near, man. The average person don't see it near, man. White people think that, well, we see it the next 30, 40, 50 years, man. How long, y'all? Now let's be honest. Let's use our discernment. Let's be precise. How long do you think we have? How long do you think we have? I've been warning y'all for a long time that I've been here with you guys. I've been warning y'all for a long time. How long do you think we got? Because white people, they don't know. But the scientists are already saying that many people are already saying that they think it's already too late for America because of the anger of God, man. Many scientists, I say it again, man, many scientists think that it's too late of this demand because of the anger of God, man. The anger of God against white America, man. Many people will try to challenge me. I'm always challenged. I'm challenged all the time on this subject. I'm always challenged by white people, man. I'm always challenged by them because white folks, they don't think for a second that it's going to come on them, but they feeling the pressure. The people feeling the pressure. They knowing see look, they knowing that they can't rebuild the ruin. You see, Edom said we will rebuild the ruin, but this is what the Lord host says, man. They may build, but I'll demolish. And you shall see this with your own eyes. It says, great is the Lord beyond the border of Israel. See, when you see a son on his father, when you see a master is honored by his slave. See, God says now, if I'm the master, where's the honor? If I'm a father, Where's the respect? See, it is you, white America, who God is after. It is America who God is after, man. You better start getting right and start praying to the Most High to take the pain and agony from you. That's why if you go to First Peter, man, First Peter 5:7 says you got to cast all your anxieties on God because He cares for you. And be alert because the enemy, the devil, he prowls around like a rare lion, looking for someone who he can devour. So you gotta draw close to God and resist from the devil so he can flee from you. Draw close to God so he can draw close to you. See that why you think God allowing you to believe all the lies you heard, all the lies. See, God sent a powerful illusion so that the people will be blind. It was like when He put that veil in the eyes of the people so that the people can't see the glory that was passing. So the people that couldn't see the gospel that was passing. It was a veil, it was a hem put on their eyes so they can't see what was passing. And still to this day, people believe all the lies they've been told. All the lies these people been given, saying to you. And you believe it. Some idiot people say Trump 25. Some people say Trump 32. Y'all should look at yourself again and slap yourselves. Because this is not a time that America will be great again, man. This is not the time that America will become great. I hate to bust your bubble. I hate to be so blunt. This is a time that America won't be great again. This is a time that she's unraveling. She's falling. And she has no future. These people don't have no future. They can't predict for you to have a future, man. Some of you guys that sitting around with your feet twirl, you know what I mean? Thinking that we just gonna have long, man. We gonna make it just sitting here. Nah. A lot of people looking at it like, man, I'm leaving America. I'm tired of being here in the United States. Cause this is gonna be a third world country. You already hearing from the president, man. America's starting to look like a third world country, man. You're gonna want to pack up and you're gonna want to leave, man. Because it's gonna get ugly. If you stay here, it's gonna get ugly, man. It's gonna get ugly. California is gonna be underwater. People didn't talk about these earthquakes. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. California, if you in that populated, you know what I mean, city like Los Angeles gonna be underwater, man. It's gonna be underwater. Las Vegas, that Hoover Dam, it's gonna break. Don't y'all see that buildup that's happening right there? Y'all don't really see the buildup. It's gonna happen. Something big is coming, y'all. Let's go.
Particularly given that the tour that he took with director Lottie Bunch was actually a reflection of really the mastery that and really the care and the patience that historians, that scholars, that curators put into the Museum of African American History and Culture. It is not just about the horrors of slavery, although it tells that very important story. It actually follows this really brilliant model where you move through the museum and it tells the story not just of American enslaved Americans in America, but also of the resilience, of the triumph. And in doing so, it tells a story that is very much about democracy and about a quest for democracy and the way that Americans both built this country, but also the story and the narrative of like a truly American experience. And so for the president, I think, to just simply erase that and push that away tells us, particularly after praising it a few years ago, tells us that this is part of a much larger agenda. This is part of a much larger agenda to erase things that really, I think the country is just not refuses to deal with and is really uncomfortable with.
He said as much by ending this post with, "This country cannot be woke because woke is broke." He says we have to have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including our museums. Why is he equating talking about slavery with woke?
Well, look, I think we just started this conversation by saying that my personal view is slavery was a reprehensible institution. I agree with your words that it was our original sin. We also fought a war to eradicate it and to get over it as a country, and that was a necessary thing that happened, and a lot of people died, and we did eradicate it, and that's a good thing. I think what he's asking is, in our museums, what defines us? Are we going to be defined by the worst moment, or the worst institution, or the worst mistake we ever made? Or are we going to be defined by what we've done moving forward to get over it and to become the greatest nation on the earth? My belief is that he wants to look at these museums, not because he wants to do away with the idea that slavery occurred, but that he wants to ask a very simple question. Are we going to present ourselves as being exceptional or not? And I think he believes there is an effort by some to continue to try to define us from our worst moment instead of try to focus and define us based on our best moments, which started when we eradicated slavery and began to move forward as the light of the world. And so that's what I think.
Museums, that's what makes us an exceptional nation, is because they tell the history and the story of our country, and therefore, these horrible, horrific moments in our history. The original sin, as Abby talked about, when it comes to slavery, has, we of course did eradicate it, but look where we've come today. And I think those museums, like to your point, make America exceptional, and in museums all around the world that document atrocities, whether it be, from Nazi Germany to eradicating slavery here in the United States, you have to learn the lessons of the past, and to deny it is to defend it.
I don't think he's denying it, and Bachi may want to comment on this as well, but I think what he wants to ask is a simple question. As we present our history, are we spending most of our time focused on something terrible? Or are we going to spend more time as we enter our 250th anniversary focused on what this country has done to improve the lives of every single person who lives here? We are the light of the world for a reason, because we're an improving
commodity. The question
commodity.
I ask when I hear you say that is, why? I mean, the idea that slavery happened, it's hard to understand what we've overcome if you don't even talk about what it was. I think that kind of waters down the whole.
I don't think anybody's proposing that we ignore that it happened.
I think that the problem is that there are people, and Scott used the term a couple of times, and I don't think it was meant with any type of ill intent, but he said, we got over it. And I think that's the problem. I think that there are a lot of people in this country who believe that for some reason we got over it. I mean, the fact is that American chattel slavery is vastly different than what Jillian Michaels and others talk about when they talk about slavery around the world. I mean, the chattel slavery system that we had was extremely transactional. It was actually codified in law, and it was based upon the color and race, as you so eloquently pointed out in your opening. And so not only when you think about that portion of where we are, 26 of our first 30 Supreme Court justices own slaves. The people who are on our money every single day own slaves. You United States presidents, members of the United States Congress owned slaves. Lehman Brothers, we're not far from Wall Street, owned slaves. Brooks Brothers suits that we wear own slaves. So not only are we talking about the epicenter and the foundation of where our country was built, we have to acknowledge that. But even more importantly, and this is where I believe that Scott and I can find agreement on this issue. I mean, Breon and Megan Walker, two of my best friends in the world, their dad was the first African-American SGA president at the University of South Carolina, right? He was an exec at IBM, but he was one of the first, right? We're still talking about first that emerged and stood on those shoulders. I tell the story often about my mom and dad. My mom helped desegregate high schools. In Hamilton High School in Memphis, Tennessee, my dad shot in the Orangeburg Massacre. This is a part of my story. This isn't some faint, distant history. And so the reason I bring that up is because I think that American exception.
You know, I think when Americans understand the exception that the founding fathers of our father were slaveholders. See, they rape our women. And they gave them babies, but never their own. You see, from them to erase slavery and sweep it on the rug that it don't exist, that we don't have to talk about this anymore, should be concerned when we have a political leader that's trying to, plot out African slavery and modern history. It always had been a problem. So now you see they're making a problem today that they can just take slavery away and make it like it don't exist. It never happened. So let's go and take it out. You know, we knew who the enemy was, y'all. We knew who the devil was. But it's so sad that in these local churches that you guys go to, they never would tell you the time we are in. They never would tell you who the devil is. They don't really have no interest. See, this is why America got all this religious of the most ignorant faiths today. You could be a homosexual. You can be an alcoholic. You can be a lesbian. You can put on a dress and go to church Sunday thinking that everything's okay. See, in the church world, you have young girls sitting in front rows, just halfway up their thighs, for the pastor to stare at their new forms, goes on to church. While the pastor should be standing outside and be trying to teach such disgracefully that we should teach that we should not tempt God's church, and that we should not turn God's church into morality, and that we should tell our young people how to be clothed and in decent dress, and that we should be able to teach people how we should be able to teach these young generation that when you step into God's house, that God's house will be clean both externally and internally. But instead, he have those young girls sitting in rows with those dress halfway up their thighs, teaching that it's okay for you coming to church the way you are. Now, can the church survive? Can Christianity survive this day of judgment?
Talks about the fact that black folk helped enslaved folk, help build this country for what it is. They built Washington, D.C., but all of us are around this table. Abby, myself, all of us, not just Abby and myself, all of us are around this table because of the sacrifices and the blood and the sweat and the tears these people poured in.
I also come back to why the focus so much on slavery when it comes to rewriting history. There's a lot of history that is in these museums, but he's focused on one thing, and that is that there's too much slavery being mentioned in the United States of America. That's very odd, Batia, honestly.
So I want to start by saying I actually agree with everything that's been said, and I loved your opening, and so I offer these comments very humbly because it's...
I thank you guys for tuning in, man. You know what I mean? Supporting the live stream. But we're going to close it from here, man. For more updates, please say subscribe. We out.